Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Travel Talk Tuesdays with me, Robert, your favorite travel advisor. And today we're going to be talking about travel agents versus travel advisors. Now, a lot of people kind of get this confused, and there is a big difference between a travel agent and a travel advisor. And years ago, you only had agents, and agents were actually agents of the companies. They were agents of the airlines and things like that because you couldn't book your own travel. You didn't have access to the internet and things like that, so you weren't able to just book. You needed to call somebody, and somebody had to book that for you. Now, with the internet and so many websites out there, you now have agents and advisors. So you have the best of both worlds, I like to say, although in my opinion, one is better than the other. So when you talk about travel agents, what you're speaking of is someone who works for another company. That person, if you pick up the phone and you call American Airlines, you're speaking to a travel agent. Or if you get on the internet and you Google, let's just say Expedia, and you book through there and you connect with somebody, you're connecting with a travel agent. That agent has one job. That job is to take your order and book your travel. That's it. They're not incentivized to offer you any deals, any discounts, or anything like that. They're there to just book that travel for you. They're an order taker. So when it comes to really booking this travel, if you had to use an agent versus an advisor, and I'll let you know what an advisor does, I hope at the end of this that you would choose the advisor over the agent. So when it comes to agents, to these engines that you're using and you're searching, the rooms that they have access to are what are called, what I like to personally call, and I don't know what the actual technical term is without looking it up, but they're rollover rooms. Okay, so when these things are built and rooms start going, premium rooms are taken, and then what's kind of left over, because we'd rather sell a room for a cheap price than no price at all, they get farmed out to these giant search engines. These giant search engines then have access to them, and that's why they're able to give you these dirt cheap deals sometimes, because they pretty much bought all of these rooms, and they say, okay, we bought 100 rooms at the Hilton for, 4th of July weekend. So those 100 rooms, since we already own them, we're going to, we want them all booked out, so we're going to discount them, $20 a room or whatever. That's it. You're not going to have that personal touch. Now, when it comes to a travel advisor, which is what I am, I'm a travel advisor. I'm here to advise you on travel, and I'm here to advise you on all of your options. Now, some perks to that, as being a travel advisor, there's some things that I do that agents don't do. Okay, and one of the biggest things that I take the most pride in that I do, and I'm kind of reading off another screen here, so if my eyes go away for a second, that's what it is. So as a travel advisor, I'm working with the executive teams of these companies, and I usually have a personal relationship with them. So depending on the brand, I have a direct person at that brand that I call and I speak with, depending on what region of the world I'm working in, or I'm looking for stuff. So I have a one-on-one connection with someone who represents that brand. So that is something that an agent might not necessarily have access to, that me and an advisor, I do. And most of them I know by first name. A lot of them I've actually personally met. I've been to symposiums and things like that where I've personally introduced myself, let them know that I'm working in this area, and gotten that one-on-one name basis with these agents that work for these companies. So when I pick up the phone and call them, or I email them to speak with them about a reservation or to speak with them about something, they know who I am by first name. I'm not just a number in a system to them. Okay, but we've also developed what are called preferred vendor relationships, which means we have a network of resorts and hotels and ships and things like that. We have a network of partners that we work very closely with and that we do a lot of business with. And because of that, they're considered our preferred vendor. And by that, that means that they guarantee a level of excellence at their resorts for us, or their destinations for us, where, not to throw a name, but let's just say, Motel 44 out there, they're not a preferred vendor of mine. So if I send a client there, if anything goes wrong, they're pretty much just like, oh, okay, well, it went wrong. What do you want us to do about it? There's not that concierge level of service that a travel advisor and a preferred partner would have. But as an advisor, I'm here to listen to you. All right. I'm here to take those hours and spend, hours with you on the phone, understanding what you want in a vacation. How do you like to vacation? Who do you like to vacation with? What type of money do you like to spend while you're on a vacation? What do you like to do while you're on that vacation? Are there places that you don't want to see, or the things that you don't want to do? Do you prefer if you're going to take a boat ride, do you prefer to take a boat ride with 100 people, or do you prefer to take a boat ride with 5 people? Those things. And what happens is when you give us all that information as an advisor, we're then going to take it all and we're going to now build a vacation for you. All right. You're not coming to me with a vacation. You're coming to me with what you want to do, and I'm going to build that vacation for you. I'm also going to be the one who does all that research and legwork for you. All right. If you were to look up some numbers and Google some numbers over what the U.S. individual spends researching travel on the internet, the numbers would astound you on how much time people spend looking into things and looking at you know ideas and destinations and things like that. And not that you shouldn't do that. I think you should have an idea of where you're going, but let us do that heavy lifting for you. Let us be the ones that, hey, you want this destination, okay, let me tell you the highlights of that destination that meet what you want to do. If you're not into bicycle races, I'm not going to tell you that, hey, this is the number one destination for bicycle races in the world. You have no interest in that. If you're not into fishing, I'm not going to send you to a destination and tell you about all the charter fishing that's available. It's not going to appeal to you. I'm going to match your personality and your travel style with the best travel that we can. And that's what we do as travel advisors. So when it comes to the world of travel, especially right now, I think a lot of you have been hearing, oh, I'm sure it's messy. I think a lot of you have been hearing lately, there's been a lot of stuff going on, especially with the airlines and flights being delayed and things like that. At the end of the day, if you pick up the phone and you call a travel agent, they're probably not going to be able to help you. Where a travel advisor, I'm going to be spending hours on the phone. I'm going to take on your problem as if it's my problem, and I'm going to work that problem. All right. You're not just a number to me. You're a person. And I want to be able to build a relationship with you that you're not just coming to me for, hey, I'm going to book that one travel with you, and next time I'm going to find somebody else. Next time I'm going to find somebody else. You're going to be following the cheapest deals everywhere. I want to become that advisor to you. My husband and I both. We want to be those advisors that you come to us for all of your travel, whether that be that big bucket list trip or whether that be that small weekend vacation, because I want us to have that relationship and that understanding and that trust. We want to earn your business and we want to earn your trust so that we become your travel advisors for life. And you come to us with any of those questions, even if it really doesn't benefit me. And there are some things out there that we will book for our clients that it doesn't really benefit us. We don't make a lot of money from the vendor on maybe booking that. But the fact that you're our client, we're going to bend over backwards and we're going to make that happen for you. And like I've said before in some previous videos, as a travel advisor, you're not paying us directly. All right. You're not having to, oh, well, the price of the room is $199.99. And if I go to my travel advisor, well, the room's probably going to be $250 because I've got to pay the travel advisor, right? No, that's not how it works. The room is $199.99. That's the flat rate of the room. If your travel advisor books that room for you, that company that we booked that room with is now going to pay us a percentage of that original price of that $199.99. There's no more money paid out of pocket from you on top of it for using a travel advisor. These prices are built in, and a lot of people would love for you to go direct because that means they don't have to pay those commission prices out. But we have contracts with companies around the world, whether that be land, sea, air, no matter what it is, tour companies, walking tours, things like that. We have contracts with companies around the world, and it is in writing that they pay us a certain proportion of that, because instead of you picking up the phone and talking to one of their agents, you're now picking up the phone and you're talking to your advisor who's going to do all that legwork and make that trip a reality for you and make it the best trip you've ever had. So as always, I'm going to end it with this. Be sure you see the world before you leave the world. Look forward to talking to you next week, guys, where we will be on board Carnival's brand new ship, the Mardi Gras, and we'll be coming to you live from there. So be sure to watch out for that video. Thanks.